Hello everyone, Namaste, I'm Ritika. Today I'll be taking you through one of my favorite practices to bring calm and ease into your day. Let's begin. Before that, grab a block and a bolster. If you've got one, you can also get a thick cushion. Now let's begin. Let's come to lie down on the mat, hugging the knees into the chest. And then just placing the feet on the mat in any comfortable way that you prefer. So the feet are planted in, hands wherever you may prefer them right now. And just tuning into the breath. Inhale and exhale through the nose. And just observing all the places the mind is going. Then keep bringing it back to your breath and to this very moment. As we move through our practice, there will be times that our minds will be inundated with thoughts. I invite you to simply observe them without getting attached and entangled with them. Just watch them come and go. And keep coming back to the present moment sensations and to your breath. A few more breaths here. Notice the expansion in the body with every inhale, and the softness in the body with every exhale. And then gently opening your eyes. Walking your feet hips width. So the knees are pointing up towards the ceiling. The feet are as wide as our hips, planted in. And we're just going to take our hands to our pelvic bones, to either side of the hip. And we're going to sway our hip from side to side. So the right one moves down, the left lifts up, the left moves down, the right lifts up. Now this can be a small movement where the knees stay fairly stable, or we can allow the knees to move with the hip. So as the right one lifts, the right knee moves towards the left. As the left hip lifts, the left knee moves towards the right. So a few of these. And if you started out small, you can make this movement bigger, slower or faster. We're going to try to keep our shoulders planted in. So we're just twisting through that lower body. Waking up the spine, massaging the lower back. And if you notice, like me, that your eyes are still closed, then let them be. Just fully focusing in this present moment. And then coming back to center. This time we are going to make sure the feet are close to us so we can kind of graze our heels with our fingers. And then we're going to find that rounding action in the lower back. So we're going to round that lower back, that the back will make complete contact with the floor, then the tailbone will start lifting up, then the lower back, maybe even the mid back. We are pressing into the feet as the hips are lifting up. And then we will stop just at that point where the shoulder blades are pressing into the floor. And slowly going to come down, again articulating through the spine, really rounding here. The mid back comes down, the lower back. This is challenging. And then that tailbone. Find a little arch here, and then rounding one more time, pressing into the floor with that lower back. Tailbone lifts up, then the lower back. And feel free to take your time here. You can even pause the video. Try this a few times. The better we are able to articulate through the spine, the better we carry load through the body. So slowly coming down. Hug the knees in. And then bring the feet back, pressing into the mat. This time we're going to bring the arms up, fingers pointing towards the ceiling. Interlace the fingers here. Keeping the hips planted where they are. We will move the arms first towards the right side. So that left shoulder blade will just about lift up. We're not going the full extent of this twist. We're just finding a really micro twist through that thoracic spine here. Keeping the hips planted in. So just through that upper back. Come back to center. Arms move towards the left. The right shoulder blade lifts up. Back to center. Left shoulder blade lifts up. Hands move to the right. To center. And moving the hands to the left, the right shoulder blade lifts up. Great. Come back to center. Hugging the knees in, turning to one side. Let's come to seated. So if you've got that block, feel free to take that right under the hip. You can find a seat on that block. Make sure your hair is okay. And let's take our hands to the shoulders. We're going to move the elbows forward, up, back, and down, letting the shoulders move freely here. 5 rounds this way. 3, 4, and 5. And then in the other direction, moving the elbows back, opening them wide, up and forward. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great. Let's come on to hands and knees. Remove that block. Feel free to grab some padding for your knees. So hands right under the shoulders, wide, fingers planted in, knees under the hips, looking a few inches in front of the fingers. Let's find a nice, firm foundation here first. Take a breath. We're in no rush. And then a few rounds of cat-cow. So starting at the tailbone again, arching through the spine, the tailbone moves up, then through the mid-back, the upper back, and the head. And then keeping that arch in the spine, tucking the chin into the chest, rounding through the upper back, the mid-back, and then the lower back. A few more times at your own pace. Starting at the tailbone, arching through the spine. Starting at the chin, rounding through the spine. One more. And then from the rounded spine, let's come back to a neutral long spine. We'll tuck the toes here and lift the knees a few inches off the mat. Keep pressing into the hands. Breathing here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I stay here, come down for one breath. And then come back up. Now we're going to take a few twists here. So as we twist to the right side, the right knee comes down, lift back up, the left knee comes down. The shoulders stay fairly stable. Right knee comes down, back up, the left knee comes down. Right knee down, left, right, left. My toes are slipping back, so walk them in if yours are too. Left and right. One more to the left side. Let's bring the knees down. Take them wide, hips towards the heels, and just a few breaths in child's pose. Feel free to take your arms extended or right by your hips. 2 breaths here. Notice where the mind goes in these moments of rest. And keep bringing it back to your breath and to the present sensations in the body. Great. Let's extend the arms forward again. Tuck the toes, lift the hips. Downward dog. Downward dog is your place to experiment. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Feel free to keep your knees bent, extending through the spine, letting the head be heavy. You can walk your dog in if you prefer a shorter downward dog today. Keep it long. Pedal through the feet, whatever you need here. Stay connected to your breath. Two more breaths here. And then walk the feet to the front of the mat. Feet wide, hips width, or together, bending the knees, letting the head hang, letting the arms be heavy. And then slowly taking our time to roll all the way up. As you come to your mountain pose, Samasthiti, just take a moment, pressing in through all corners of the feet, arms by your side. Noticing your beating heart, your breath. And opening your eyes. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, bend your knees and fold forward. Take your hands to your knees, your thighs. Find a long spine from crown to tailbone. As you exhale, bring your hands down and walk your feet to plank. So walk your feet wide. Shoulders are right over the hands. Legs are really strong. The neck is long. And as you exhale, bring the knees down. Keep pressing in through your hands and come all the way down. Straighten through the legs. Take your hands right under the shoulders. Take them wide. Sometimes I prefer that for my first baby cobra pose. Press in through the tops of your feet. Lift head, neck, and chest. Exhale to lower the head down. Press into the hands. Come on to the knees. Tuck the toes. Lift the hips. Downward dog. Again, find that steady breath here. Two more breaths here. Walking the feet to the front. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale to fold. Press in through your feet. Come all the way up, arms lift up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, arms lift up. Exhale, bend the knees and fold. Hands to your knees or thighs for that long spine. And this time, maybe taking the arms right by your side. So the fingertips are pointing towards the back of the room. Finding engagement through our core, through our back muscles. And we stay here for a few breaths. I like to keep my knees bent here because I'm really focusing on length through the spine here. So not really working the hamstrings here as such. 3, 4, and 5. And then maybe we will just bend the knees a little bit more. Arms lift up. Utkatasana, chair pose. This was a surprise even to me. Wasn't sure if I was going to take Utkatasana here, but exhale, bring the hands down. Walk the feet back to plank. So here we are really finding some tension right between our hands and our feet. Our hands are moving towards the feet, feet towards the hands. Exhale, bring the knees down. Come all the way down. Come on to the tops of the feet. Find engagement through the legs. Legs are really active here. Press into the hands, right by the shoulders, maybe a bit wider. Head, neck, chest lifts up. Exhale to lower back down. Press into the hands, onto the knees, downward dog. 3 breaths. Pedal through the feet here, if you're called to do so. Shake through the neck. Keep the arms really strong, fingers pressing in. And then walking to the front of the mat. Inhale to lengthen through the spine. Let's take the arms back again. Exhale, fold. Press in through the feet, bend the knees, arms lift up. Really find a deep chair. And then straighten through the legs, hands to heart. Stay here a moment. Inhale, arms lift up. Exhale, bend the knees and fold. Right leg moves back. Come down on the right knee. Arms lift up. So we're in a low lunge. Really leaning the hips forward. Bending deeply into that left knee. And then the right hand comes down on the mat or on the block. Left arm lifts up. Twist. Exhale, bring the left hand back down. Move to plank. Lower the knees down. Come all the way down. Come onto the tops of the feet. Inhale, head, neck, chest lifts. Exhale to fold. Press into the hands. Downward dog. One deep breath here. Right leg lifts up. Bend the right knee and walk it between the hands. Left knee comes down. Arms lift up. Again, leaning the hips forward. Exhale, bring both hands down and walk that left foot to meet the right. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Press into the feet. Arms up, come up, hands to heart. Inhale, arms lift up. Exhale, bend the knees and fold. Inhale, find the long spine. Send that left leg back, left knee comes down, arms lift up. Lean those hips forward. Keep the legs really active. Exhale, bring that left hand down on the mat or the block. Right arm lifts up, twist. Right hand comes down, move to plank. This time, look a few inches in front of your fingers. Really keep the legs strong and come all the way down in one piece. Feel free to bring your knees down if you're not ready. But when we're coming down, let's think of chest coming down first. Coming down slowly. Coming on tops of the feet. Pressing into the hands. Lifting a few inches up, head, neck, and chest. Exhale, lower. Press into the hands. Come on to the knees. Downward dog. One breath here. Then we lift that left leg up. Bend the left knee and bring that left foot between the hands. Right knee comes down. Arms lift up. Lean the hips forward. Keep the legs really strong. Then bring the hands down. Walk the back foot to meet the front and fold. Inhale, long spine. Don't be standing so close to the wall. Exhale, fold. Press into the feet, bend the knees, arms lift up. Chair pose. With me? Yes. And straighten through the legs, hands to heart. Great. So if you're practicing close to a wall, for the next part, we can use the wall to give us some feedback. Hands to our waist. We're going to bend that right knee, hug it into the chest, and extend that right foot forward. So if you're close enough to a wall, we can press that right foot into the wall. Straighten through that left leg. Then bending that right knee, sending it back, leaning the torso forward, moving into warrior 3, and maybe taking the hands to the wall this time. Straighten through the back leg, any amount, and the toes are pointing down. And then maybe the hands come back on the waist, by the sides of the hips. Keep that back leg straight. If you lose your balance, that's okay. And then slowly coming back to stand. Keep that leg up still, extend it forward one more time, and release. Shake it out. So at least now we know what to expect. Okay, so if you're experimenting with that wall, stand close enough. Hug that left knee into the chest. Extend it out, pressing the foot into the wall. Keep that right leg straight. This is more challenging than it looks. And then bend that left knee, send that left leg back. Toes pointing down, hips in line. Perhaps the hands come to the wall. Perhaps they don't. See what works today. Find a place to focus on. Find deep breaths. And then come back to standing straight. Extend that leg out one more time. Whoa. And release. Shake it out. Feet, hips width. Spreading the toes. Coming to stand tall. Closing our eyes. And just becoming fully aware of all of our body. All of those working parts that keep us standing up. That help us move. And while our body is our vessel, it is deeply connected with our soul. So we have to take care of both parts. And then let's just come to seated. Whichever way you like. Let's come down. Hug the knees in to the chest. And then release. Let's take Baddha Konasana first. So hugging, kissing the soles of the feet, opening the knees out. Feel free to take blocks or bolsters under the knees if that feels good. I can only find one block, so left knee, you're my favorite today. And then open the chest here any amount. Exhale as you fold forward. You can also use a block right under your forehead. Just a few breaths here. And then slowly coming up. We'll take some variations of Navasana, that is boat pose. Hugging the knees in, arms forward. Maybe coming on to your toes. Extending the right leg. Tap it down. Left, down. Right, down. Left, tap it down. Right. So just alternating between the legs. Feel free to do this at your own pace. A few more rounds. And then Coming halfway down, straightening through the legs, and coming back up. Halfway down, back up, halfway down, back up. One last time, and then just release. So before we come all the way down, feel free to keep that block or cushion close to you. Bring it close by. Let's take it over to the left side first, hugging the right knee into the chest, taking the right knee to the bolster. This is one of my favorite restorative twists. Shoulders are on the floor, cactus arms with the elbows bent. And let the eyes be heavy and closed. Allow the body to be soft now. Allow the body to relax. No distractions now. The only thing bringing you to the present moment is your breath. And coming back to center. Straightening through that right leg. Bringing that bolster to the right side. Make some space for yourself. Hug that left knee into the chest. Send it to the right. Cactus arms. Notice all the places where your body makes contact with your mat, with the floor. Notice any sounds that you may be hearing right now. Soften your body. Come back to center. Feel free to keep that bolster and bring it right under your knees as we move to our final resting pose, Shavasana. Feel free to keep your eyes open here or closed. Arms by your side. The choice is yours. You can come to a seated position as well. Connecting back to your breath. Allowing yourself to feel safe and grounded. Allow yourself the next few moments to completely rest. Taking a deeper breath now. Wiggling your fingers and toes. Moving your head from side to side, arms reach up, give yourselves a nice stretch. Turn to one side. And slowly come to seated. Hands to heart. Thank yourself for practicing today, for taking care of your body, for giving your mind a few moments of peace. I will chant one Om. Feel free to join or listen. Inhale. Om. Dhanyavad. Namaste. Have a lovely day.